And the losses continue to pile up for this Raptors basketball team. With the loss tonight to the Atlanta Hawks, they're down by 25 with a minute and a half to go. That is the 10th consecutive loss for the Toronto Raptors as they fall to 7-25 on the year. I never thought it would get this bad, but here we are. This thing was over by, halftime, was it a 6-point game at the break, wasn't it? You won the, 6-point game at the break. You're right there. And in the third quarter, you absolutely fell apart. Allowed a 40 piece, only scored 24. You were minus 16 in the third quarter. It was curtains at that point. You're down by 20 plus going into the fourth, and you actually are losing that fourth quarter as well. This team is bad, man. No shit. They're bad. Really bad. And I mentioned the last video, and I'm not going to say it again, about the whole leader thing for Scotty Barnes. Look, he's out there playing. And I'm sorry, but Scotty Barnes today in 35 minutes is a minus 34 while he is on the floor. But I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. I don't want to talk about this very much. The losses, like I said, are continuing to pile up. Where the Raptors sit right now in the overall standings, they are they are tied with the Hornets for the third worst record in the NBA. I mentioned in the last video that if the Portland Trailblazers won, it would kind of separate ourselves a little bit. Well, Portland has now won 2 consecutive games. So if you go Pelicans and Wizards have 5 wins. Raptors, Hornets, and Jazz all have 7. And then it jumps Portland 11. So that 4-win gap there, that tells me that the Raptors aren't going to fall any lower than that, which is I guess a positive sign. But God, the Wizards can't win again. They lost in overtime to the Knicks, wasn't it? And it's that they can't win a game, but the Raptors, like I mentioned, have lost 10 consecutive basketball games. And it is very bleak to be a Raptor fan right now. And all you can do is hope that the losses continue to pile up. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Now, let's look at the upcoming schedule, because what else is interesting? You can't talk about, well, this guy did this tonight. And why would I want to do that? You're down by, what are we down now? At 29 with 16 seconds left. And the biggest highlight from tonight's game, well, there was a couple, I guess. Bruce Brown getting his first buckets on that kind of transition dunk, which was nice to see. He had 12 off the bench. Maybe look for some trade value at the deadline. Grady Dick had a nice dunk as well. RJ in the first minute or two of the game had a nice dunk. And the other one, the one that's going to obviously go around the NBA, is Scotty Barnes rifling the ball off of Jakob Poeltl's head. We understand we want to tank and we want this team to lose games, but don't embarrass yourselves. And they just are. They're just embarrassing themselves night in, night out. So it's a rough look. Now, let's do that thing and look at the schedule, because I'm going to wrap it up with that. I don't want to talk about this game anymore. Who the hell does? Now, the only, and in very air quotes, winnable game is on New Year's Day, actually, where the Raptors host the Brooklyn Nets. But the Raptors do play New Year's Eve in Boston against the Celtics. Okay. We kind of see where that's going, albeit the last time we played Boston in Boston, forced overtime, and Jason Tatum hit a big-time 3, or was it 3? I don't know what it was, but a game-winning shot in overtime to beat the Raptors. They've actually been okay recently. They're 23-8, but, Raptors should lose that game. Nets, that's the questionable one. We talked about it when the Raptors lost to the Nets there, what is it, a few weeks ago at least. Maybe when did we play them last? To say previous matchup was December 19th. So, yeah, a couple weeks ago, where the Raptors lost by 7, but it was a tight game, and we had a feeling it was going to be a tank game down the road because that team is awful. And the Nets they've won 12 games, so they have 5 wins between the Raptors, and then that's kind of that one team that you look at the schedule and okay, so that's that winnable game. Because then you have the really good defensive Orlando Magic, the Milwaukee Bucks, the New York Knicks, then the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then you get Pistons, but then you get Warriors, Celtics, Bucks, Magic, back-to-back against the Hawks again, and then the biggest tank games of all, right near the end of January, Pelicans and then Wizards. Just going to leave that there. So, if you look at the schedule before those 2 games, maybe the Pistons are a winnable game, but they're 14-18, being very plucky this year in the NBA, and obviously the Brooklyn Nets are the other team. So that's it. Schedule talk over the next month because, God, I don't want to talk about this team anymore because they're no fun to watch, guys. Let's be honest. I was watching a lot of the football game, with the Packers and Vikings game, and then when 7 o'clock hit and it was halftime or 7:30 hit, and the Raptors were down. I'm like, okay, let's put on the hockey game, the Team Canada game. Even though they lost to Latvia, it'd be more entertaining than this damn game. And I was right, because that second half was pathetic. You actually lost the fourth quarter by 7, and you lose by 29, 136-107. After giving up 155, you give up 136 in your next game. Lovely stuff. All right, and I believe the Raptors might have sole possession of that third worst record because we'll have that extra loss. The Charlotte Hornets will be 7-25, and they're 7-24 still. So, great, I guess. I don't know. Just let's get through the season, guys. We're only like 31 or 32 games into this freaking season. Oh, well. Let's get through it one game at a time, all right? So, you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and not the game, because who the hell did? Hit that like button. Do appreciate it. The subscribe button if not done so already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. What'd you like, what'd you not like? Actually, let me rephrase that. What'd you not like from today's game? The Toronto Raptors, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below. So follow up there if you haven't done so already, and I will talk to you guys. Leafs edition. When do they play next? They play tomorrow, don't they? I know they play Tuesday. Everyone plays New Year's Eve as the Leafs host the Islanders at Scotiabank Arena. 1 p.m. puck drop there. And as for the Raptors, that's a night game against the Celtics in Boston. I'll be going to a New Year. Oh, it's a 3 o'clock start. Okay, so I'll maybe be able to do both videos for you guys, which would be fascinating, which would be fantastic. 3 p.m. tip-off in Boston against the Celtics. Let's take another L, I guess. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and not the game. We'll talk to you guys then.